First tonight, the Target 12 investigators take you inside the mafia with new details on one of the biggest mob crackdowns in U.S. history.
It's a story you saw first on WPRI.com. More than 120 people are arrested on organized crime charges, including an alleged long-time Rhode Island mob boss.
The notion that today's mob families are more genteel and less violent than in the past is put to lie by the charges contained in the indictments unsealed today.
In all, 127 are now facing charges, including the reputed former head of the infamous Patriarca crime family.
The Target 12 investigators were first to report that 83-year-old Luigi Baby Shacks Manacchio was arrested yesterday in Fort Lauderdale for allegedly extorting money from local strip clubs.
Also arrested in the sweep, 69-year-old Thomas Iafredi, a bookkeeper for the Cadillac Lounge and Satin Doll strip clubs in Providence. He's accused of collecting and delivering payments to Manacchio.
We're working in-depth coverage of this developing story. Eyewitness News reporter Walt Buteau is standing by with a closer look at the impact of today's bust.
But we begin tonight with Target 12 investigator Tim White, who joins us live now with the very latest on today's historic sweep. Tim?
Luigi Manacchio, also known as Baby Shacks, the Professor, and the Old Man, according to court documents, is charged with extortion and conspiracy. And that means the 83-year-old could face 23 years behind bars. This is Target 12 undercover video of Luigi Baby Shacks Manacchio, the man federal investigators say was the longtime head of the Patriarca crime family. This mugshot from a Florida sheriff's office is of Manacchio moments after his arrest Wednesday in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He was one defendant in a cast of more than 100 in a sweeping national bust into organized crime. Attorney General Eric Holder announced the raid in New York.
Their alleged crimes include numerous violent and illegal acts, from murder and narcotics trafficking to extortion, illegal gambling, arson, loan sharking, and labor racketeering.
According to an indictment obtained by Target 12, Manacchio was accused of accepting protection payments from at least 2 Rhode Island strip clubs, the Cadillac Lounge and the Satin Doll.
What else is here?
Also arrested Thomas Iafredi, an 11-year manager at the Cadillac Lounge. Prosecutors say Iafredi was the conduit, delivering the money to Manacchio.
They say you're a bagman for the mob, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
As the reputed boss, investigators say Manacchio used threats of violence to coerce the protection payments. Nationally, the huge sweep, described by authorities as the largest mafia roundup in FBI history, targeted 7 mob families in Rhode Island, New York, and New Jersey. Charges include murder, racketeering, and extortion.
Even more of a myth is the notion that the mob is a thing of the past, that La Cosa Nostra is a shadow of its former self.
Now, Iafredi was released on $50,000 unsecured bond. He's been ordered to stay away from strip clubs and a whole list of known organized crime members in Rhode Island. We've learned Manacchio waived his hearing down in Florida. That means he's going to have to return here to be arraigned at some point soon. We're hearing the arraignment should be sometime next week. New at 6 o'clock. We'll let you know how much protection money Manacchio was getting, according to prosecutors. Mike, Susan?
Tim, yesterday you broke the news that reputed mobster Anthony the Saint Laurent pleaded guilty to charges in both an extortion case and a failed murder-for-hire plot. Is there any connection here between that plea and this FBI sweep?
Well, I had a chance to ask that question to U.S. Attorney for Rhode Island, Peter Nerona. Now, he was down with Eric Holder in New York. He did not want to comment as to whether those 2 cases are connected. But, Mike, if you read the plea agreement with St. Laurent, and that's on our website, WPRI.com, last 2 pages, two big-time admissions by St. Laurent. One, that he is a made member of the Patriarca crime family, and as you can imagine, that's extremely rare. And he also alleges that, at least in 2006, Mr. Manacchio was the reputed head of the crime family. Now, certainly a case this big has a lot of different elements to it, but it doesn't hurt prosecutors to have an infamous mobster as well known as St. Laurent willing to identify Mr. Manacchio as the former boss of the crime family.
Tim, thanks so much. We'll check in with you again on Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock. And as you can